We're talking about Satoshi Forest. And Satoshi Forest is it was created to be a haven for homeless people in Florida, in the city of Pensacola. The government, it seems, doesn't like that this haven for the homeless is there. They've made being homeless pretty much a crime in Pensacola. There are things that you legally cannot do, all right? You legally cannot camp on public property, and you legally cannot sleep outside or in a temporary shelter. You legally cannot wash in public, shave in public, wash one's clothing in public, prepare food in public, urinate in public. You also can't engage in aggressive solicitation, begging, or panhandling. And they've made being homeless a crime. They have. And Satoshi Forest is the solution to that. It's 9 acres that has been paid for entirely in Bitcoin, right? Entirely in Bitcoin. This guy's monthly bills, everything is done in Bitcoin, and it's mainly donations, right? That's what happens is the Bitcoin community has come together and they've really supported Satoshi Forest. So it's 9 acres that is zoned as a campground. It's zoned as a campground. But the government doesn't like that it's homeless people that are camping on this private property. So they are having a meeting, right? The government is having a meeting. And they're planning on shutting down Satoshi Forest. That's what they're planning on doing. You see, despite the fact that Satoshi Forest is zoned as a campground, despite that fact, they don't like what's being done there. Since it's homeless people, they're going to try and shut it down. Commissioner Grover Robinson. I don't believe either our land development code or anywhere that we're going to allow that kind of usage. It seems inconsistent with everything we would allow in the county. Do you hear that term? We would allow, right? We would allow. Like, is it really their business? Do they have the right to tell someone that they can't allow homeless people to camp on their campground zoned property? You know what this is about, right? You know what this is about. Here is they had a dozen Mayfair residents who were at Thursday's commission meeting to protest Satoshi Forest. Among the complaints from the residents were claims that the camp's residents roamed the neighborhood's alleys at night. They burned open fires, and they had approached and talked to children living at nearby properties. Yeah, I'm sure that happened. Right, I'm sure. Robert Grimes lives on Fennell Street with his backyard directly across from the camp's main entrance. He has begun a petition to have the camp shut down. Here's a quote from Robert Grimes. "I'm not heartless to their plight, but it doesn't need to be here. What's it going to do to our property values?" I think that sums it up right there, doesn't it? You see, when this was going to be zoned, right, it was zoned as a campground. That means that the man who set this up, Jason King, the man who set this up, he went and he asked the government permission to turn this into a campground. And the government looked at the area, and the government looked at the property, and the government said, okay, all right, that's fine. I think that we can make this a campground. Now, I guess they thought that campgrounds wouldn't have fires? Do you know that at every campground I've ever been to, which it hasn't been many, folks, it hasn't been many. I'm not too much of a camper. But at every campground that I have ever been to, there have been fires. open fires. We burn open fires at these places. And when we pass someone on the street, do you know what we say to them? Hi. And then keep walking, right? You're nice to people. You're friendly to people around you. You see, Robert Grimes, he is heartless to their plight. Robert Grimes doesn't care that the government has made it illegal to be homeless. The government has made it a crime to be homeless. He doesn't care about that. What he cares about is his property value. That's what he cares about. Now, code enforcement has apparently ordered Satoshi's Forest to shut down, to cease and desist. And Satoshi's Forest has received a notice of violation, right? A notice of violation, January 7th, and another issued January 14th, were posted in front of the property on Sunday. They listed a total of 8 code violations, ranging from erecting a structure without a permit to maintaining a condition conducive to breeding rats, mosquitoes, and other vermin. Nice, isn't it? Well, the thing is that anywhere could be conducive to breeding rats. Or mosquitoes? Are you kidding me?